Hello everyone, for those who are watching this video today, we are making an informative video about time value of money and also working capital management, so stay tuned.
Now first, let's take a look at the time value of money. Now let's take a look at the definition of time value of money. Money received today is worth more than money received in the future due to earning potential. So what is earning potential? Earning potential refers to the maximum amount of money that individual can reasonably expect to earn over a specific period. Let's move on to the components of time value of money. The first one is present value or PV, the current worth of future sum money. And then we have future value, FV, value of the money at a future date based on assumed rate of growth. Then we have rate, or represented by K, the rate at which money grows over time. Next, we have number of period or N, the duration over which money is invested and borrowed. And lastly, we have annuity amount, represented by A, payment made or received. You can see this component mostly in the formula to calculate FV or PV. We have two types of time value of money. The first one is compounding, which are used in future value. It is used to calculate how much today's money will grow in the future. And then we have discounting, which are used in present value. It calculates what future money is worth today. There are many types and formula of cash flow for time value of money. The first one is single cash flow, and then we have multiple cash flow. We have ordinary annuity and also annuity due. Ordinary annuity is used if cash flow occur at the end of the period, and annuity due is used when cash flow occur at the beginning of the period. I have created a table of formula for present value and future value for all these types of cash flow, and feel free to use it for your future use. There are many importance of time value of money. The first one is important when you are making financial or investment decision. It also helps you to compare cash flow at a different time rate and also using loan and retirement planning. But the most important one is to ensure that you have higher return than cost so that you will make a good financial decision. Now let's move on to the working capital management. Working capital management is about managing day-to-day operations and ensuring the firms can meet the short-term obligation. Working capital management is important to ensure the firm has enough cash to pay bills and buy stock. But remember, if it is too high, it means that the firms are not using their money efficiently. But if it is too low, there are risks of them not being able to pay their bills. There are three policies in working capital management. The first one is relaxed policy. It has low risk and return, high liquidity, get a lot of current asset, and has a flexible credit. And then we have restricted policy, which are an opposite of relaxed policy because it has high risk and return, low liquidity, keep only a few current assets, and also have a very strict credit policy. And the last policies that we have is moderate policies. It combines both restricted and relaxed policy, so it shows a moderate risk and return and also liquidity. Now let's move on to the sources of financing for working capital. There are two sources of financing. The first one is short-term financing or current liabilities. It has lower cost of borrowing and shorter duration. The second one is long-term financing. It has higher cost and longer duration. On to the next part, which is types of assets and financing. The first one is permanent assets, which are assets that is held more than 1 year. And then we have temporary asset that fluctuates with sale and it is held below 1 year. We have temporary source of financing, which are current liabilities, permanent financing, which is long-term debts and stock, and then we have spontaneous financing, which are trade credit. There are three approaches to financing working capital. The first one is aggressive financing. It uses short-term financing for some permanent asset to reduce costs, but it has high risk and return. And then we have conservative financing, which uses long-term financing for most of the asset including permanent and temporary current asset. It has lowest risk and return. And lastly, we have hedging approaches. It matches asset maturity with financing maturity. For example, temporary financing for temporary asset and permanent financing for permanent asset. It has moderate risk and return. And that is all from me. Thank you for watching.